Tal Halalim, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Kodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elders of GMS, Great Millstone. Today's talk's going to be on UFOs are in the Bible. Now, the UFOs can cloak themselves as clouds. Psalm 104, verse 3. Who lay up the beams of his chambers in the waters, who make up the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Next precept, Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of Allahayim are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai. There are so many chariots, so many UFOs. Alright. So, yeah. I'm back. Ecclesiasticus 49 verse 8. I could be pronouncing Ecclesiasticus wrong, but Ecclesiasticus 49 verse 8. It was Ezekiel who saw the glorious vision, which was shewed him upon the chariot of the cherubs. The chariot of the cherubs is the so-called UFOs. Ezekiel 10 verse 1. Then I looked and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubims, there appeared over them as it were a sapphire stone. Wait. This ain't the precept I was looking for. Salakia. Here it is. Ezekiel 1. Start at Ezekiel seeing the angels in the chariot. I'll start at Ezekiel 1 verse 14. I might not. Alright, Ezekiel 1 verse 4. And I looked and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings. And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Alright, the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. The angel was wearing some sort of ninja-looking shoes. Because if you look at a calf's foot, alright, ninja shoes. You see how it looks there? Calf foot. You see how a calf's foot look there. So something, for lack of better words, I should say, ninja shoes. This is like directly what they had on. Something very similar. Or for lack of a better word, ninja shoes. But something that looked like that. And they had the hands of a man under their wings on their four sides, and they four had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward. So when a chariot flies, and when Ezekiel's seeing it, you know how a plane makes... If a plane's going straight and they go left, they have to like turn left. Not a sharp turn, a soft turn. Hope I'm describing it right. Versus the chariot, it goes straight. It makes a left, sharp left. So up, down, left, right, up, left, up, down, right. Sharp turns. Doesn't need to turn like a plane does. Soft turn. Whichever direction it was going at the time. However times and all that. As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They four also had the face of an eagle. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. And they went every one straight forward whither the Spirit was to go. They went, and they turned not when they went. As I was trying to describe it. And they turned not when they went. They didn't need to turn. They could just go left, right, up, down, left, right. They don't need to like turn. They trying to describe it. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. So you can just imagine UFO shooting laser beams. It's like lightning. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. It was moving quick. Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel went. Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces. The appearance of the wheels in their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon their 4 sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them 4. Not literal eyes, you can just like picture the UFO got lights. Not literal eyeballs, no. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were also lifted up. Wheresoever the Spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. When those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. So Ezekiel's describing the chariot. Alright, another precept. Zechariah 5 verse 1. Then I lifted, Salakia. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. It's not a flying roll literally. Zechariah is seeing a chariot, but he's describing it as a flying roll. Now, what do they call that in modern times? Ooh, look at this, the pale UFO. Wow, a flying roll. Oh, would you look at that, a flying roll. So, Zechariah described it as a flying roll. In today's terms, we would describe it by describing it as a pill-shaped UFO. Cylinder UFO spot. Alright. Not trying to mock the chariots or anything, was it? And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, breadth thereof, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, saith Yahweh of hosts. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. These chariots, Yahushua and the angels in chariots are going to come back, destroy Babylon the Great, deliver the elect, and take over the entire planet Earth. And 144,000 are going to hell too. Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Chariots, UFOs. Second Kings chapter 2 verse 12. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. UFOs, chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. Salakia. Alright. Verse beforehand. 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 11. It came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, and the horses of fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. The UFO came and took Elijah, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot. Sorry, Salakia, yeah. That was, yeah. And he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. So a UFO came and took Elijah. Not no alien abduction either. The angels are in the chariots. Now, Revelation 19 verse 11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. The horse is symbolic for power, or horse meaning power. Could have the wrong choice of words, symbolic. Or it could be the right choice of words. But behold, a white horse. That horse referring to power. Like you drive a car, you got horsepower. Yeah, that's what it means in Revelation 19 verse 11. When it means horse, it means power. And he's that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. In other places in the scriptures, when it's referring to the chariots, horse, power. Not an actual horse. Like you got a car, you got horsepower, but it's not an actual horse. Horse, referring to the chariots, the UFOs in the Bible. The horse is the power. I don't know if I read this scripture, I may have. Psalm 68 verse 17. The chariots of Elohim are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. There's a lot of chariots, a lot of angels in the UFOs. Ecclesiasticus 49 verse 8. Could pronounce Ecclesiasticus wrong. 49 verse 8. And it was Ezekiel who saw the glorious vision which shewed of him upon the chariot of the cherubs. More UFOs. Slovakia. Alright. Second Chronicles verse 16 verse 9. Second Chronicles 16 verse 9. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to shew himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. The eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth. Those are the chariots, the UFOs. Kahalalim, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Brach, Kodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Double honor to the elders of GMS, Great Millstone. And with that, I want to say Shalom. 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 Shalom.